But what I'm struck by actually is your mother or your parents, both of them talking about sacrificing everything for the cause, when you've talked in similar terms about art, essentially, that the artist has to be completely uncompromising and sacrifice everything.
Yeah, to me right now, when you come to a certain age, what you have to think about? You have to think about what you're leaving behind you. I never think that anything material is important to leave behind. But one thing you can really leave is a good idea. Good idea have many lives. So the whole thing, what is interesting for me right now, especially after this MoMA show, which I really understood that is very important to have a legacy. And legacy it's where all my ideas will come in the best possible way. And this is Institute of Long Duration Performing Art, which I'm trying to now build in Hudson. And I'm desperately raising the funds, which is not easy at all for an artist, but I try to do. And it's really important to create something that can stay after you're gone. Which is not just your own foundation, it's not glorifying your own work, but something that others can have benefit.
I want to talk about the Institute, and just to get ready, because there's a few photographs of 4, 5, and 6 that I'd like to show, but
can I just ask you for a really big favor? I don't know how we're doing time, but I just like to, because we talk about childhood, if we just can finish with the golden mask. A little video is 1 minute.
Okay, I'm not sure if they have that ready.
Gold mask?
If you have the golden mask up there.
What about technology?
But let me, before we move on to that, I just want to finish this train of thought that we were talking about, though, in terms of childhood and sacrifice and leaving something behind. A lot of people often look at it that their children are something that they leave behind. Do you have regrets about not having children?
I never regret, I never want, and really, I just was, I think there's so many women great mothers. I'm not the one of them. I really wanted to be artist. And I think that in our own body, we only have one kind of energy. This is a sexual energy which actually can serve for reproduction, but also can, transform into creativity. And if you have, and the children, and your career, it's so hard to have both. One suffer or another suffer. And history is full of that kind of examples. And I was thinking, if I just put entire my energy into the work, that would be the best for the work itself.
Do you think part of that relates, though, to your own unhappiness as a child?
No, it's, to me, I'm also not feminist, by the way. This I have to make clear, because here is so much about feminism. But I also, when everybody say, especially irritates me in America that everything is about numbers. How many women artists in the show? How many male artists? How many the gay artists? How many South Africans or whatever? Not South Africans, the American artists. It's always about numbers. I always think it's about art itself that's the more important, not the numbers. And the reason why is much less women in the art than the men, because the women are less ready to sacrifice, because the women want to have children and they want to have husbands and want to have the family and the career. And it's so much, and it's so difficult to do that. So, then you have to wait, like Louise Bourgeois. I mean, her husband died when she was 60, so then she can make career, not before.
That's very disheartening, I think, for young women artists.
But in the same time, if you choose one thing, then go for it all the way. That's the very.
But why doesn't that apply, though, to male artists as well in terms of a family and children? Obviously, there's the giving birth is different, but...
Yeah, but it's big difference. They don't have ability to create life. This is such a huge power thing of women, and the man doesn't have. That's all different story. And then, how many times you are in the studio, the man is in the studio alone, and in the middle of the night, he creates some great piece of work, architecture, poetry, writing the books, and in the middle of the night, his wife comes with the warm soup. How many women are in the middle of the night and the men come with warm soup? No one.
Right. Exactly, that's very true. Let's show these 4 photographs, and then I don't know if you've got the mask up there. If you can, we'll look for that afterwards. So, Marina, why don't you explain what's going on in the screen there?
Okay, this is wrong image. Can we save another one and then we go back to this one?
Right. Let's see, number 5. Let's try that one.
So Oh, this is institute. Anyway, this is the entrance, virtual entrance of the institute.
I noticed that looks like Robert Redford.
Yes,
he
it
in
is
your
Robert
institute?
Redford.
Yes.
No, he was in my silent party in the Sundance.
Okay.
I made a complete silent party that you can't talk and you just wear lab coats and you know, just communicate in different ways with people. But this is the virtual entrance of the entrance hall of my institute. So how I imagine this, if you wanted to visit the institute, you have to sign contract with me to give me word of honor that you're going to spend 6 hours there. So it's very simple exchange. You give me your time, I give you experience. If you don't give me time, you can't get in. So when you get in, you get your lab coats, you give your iPods, Blackberries, watches, money, whatever, the safe deposit, and then you are completely free from everything, and you have these 6 hours to be with you, in the space. You're going through different chambers, the chamber of drinking water, the chamber of slow motion, the chamber, so you really kind of tune your consciousness and your mental and physical body to different timing. And then you go to the big hall, which is actually happening, the different performances can be opera, can be theater, can be dance, can be film, who are all long durational, commissioned by the different artists and from different categories. And you are actually going to sit in some kind of wheelchairs. And these wheelchairs are really, we don't have these images, but never mind. The wheelchairs are kind of designed. Also the concept is Rem Koolhaas, the entire, you know, the master plan for
Let's
Rem
just
Koolhaas.
try, the next one may be number 6. That's a pavilion sketch from...
Oh, this is Voluminatus Festival. This is completely different.
All right.
I can't talk about this.
Okay.
So anyway.
We'll go back. Let's go back to 5 and continue.
So you go through this big hall, and in this big hall you actually see these long durational works in the wheelchair. Why wheelchair? Because it's comfortable. Once you fall asleep, the attendant will come and turn into a little bed, and then you will be parked in the sleeping area. When you wake up, you can go back and look the work. Because even the sleeping, you know, state, subconsciously you can receive art. So the idea is really to change the perception of art and preparation of a public into a different way, but also to kind of change the way how you think about life itself. So this institute we hope to open, you know, the next year, the end of 2014, with a smaller program, and the director is Serge Leborn, who is here with us tonight. And we hope that we will raise the money, especially from the people who really appreciate my work and
Right, you said you weren't looking for a big wealthy donor.
No, I was not.
Right. No, I'm saying you're not looking for, you know.
I was looking for the, you know, we're looking through the really Facebook, the Kickstarters, and really the larger audience who follow the work and would be interesting to be part of the public in this institute.
It sounds almost more like training to be to learn how to look at and appreciate art as opposed to artists themselves.
Yeah, because we don't have time for anything, and we, you know, we are going to look the art, but we don't have time to receive. And we are so overwhelmed with the consumption that we don't even have space in our mind to actually receive new ideas and receive the things. So in a way, this is like in a way you are reprogramming yourself. You're giving away things. You are addressing lab coat. Lab coat is very important for me because that turn the normal viewer into experimenter immediately and make you equal between each other. So that kind of lab coat is a symbol of experimenting. So you are the viewer who become experimenter and active participant. And today people are so tired watching things. They really wanted to experiment and you want to change something. So this is why the Artist Present is such a success, that people really want to be involved. And that's now the very clear concept around the world.
Right. I mean, one of the things that you mentioned in the documentary is how the studies have showed that most people, let's say, will stand in front of a painting for about 30 seconds. And yet here, people were coming for hours from morning till night when you were at MoMA, just to watch this.
But you know, nobody ever gets changed by somebody else's experience. You read wonderful book and the author is great, but when you finish this book and you close the pages, you're the same. But if you really have your own adventure of doing things and experimenting, then this experience will always stay with you. So this is why I like to create a platform when people can really experiment and interact and do something with their own self.